It is currently 11:25. Today is Saturday, September 1st, 2018. Good evening, everyone. So, the original plan for today's discussion has been changed, just due to some situations that have occurred. Some comments that some people have made. Not here, not online. Just some comments that were made in the spiritual community that I don't exactly find comfortable, and that sort of is what fueled a bit of this discussion. Tonight's topic is on wards and barriers. Effectively, sort of a description of what the difference between the two are, but also how they work. So, a barrier is, as it sounds, a type of wall or obstacle that is placed that spiritually keeps something out. Typically, common barriers you'll see are people utilizing various types of magic or where they form their energy, their energy of spirit, give it a form and a guide of a place to circle and protect. A common example, of course, could be casting a circle or calling the four towers. That is a very common example of what a barrier is. And I have plenty of spells and prayers that relate to those. But a ward is a lot different. And I believe I could show you an example, if you want to give me a second, of one I have. Come on, little guy. Come on. Oh, come on. Sorry about this, guys. It's being a fight. There we go. Okay. So here are two wards that I have, specifically sitting up on. You can't see it, but this is part of my work area right here. These wards sit up there, and together they form a form of a protective veil around my office. They're both enchanted with different attributes, and let me get to that. A ward is a type of talisman or charm that has a very powerful barrier programmed onto it, effectively, akin to a spirit possessing or protecting it, with the intention of shielding, of protecting, stuff like that. And it's not in the sense that the spirit is literally bound inside the bottle, in this case. And I'll get closer to show you guys in a second, if you wish, but it's less that that they're literally bound here, but part of their energy is bound within to emanate through it on the physical to strengthen the spiritual energy it has. Because the best kind of magic, or the best kind of any kind of spiritual work, is work that has a physical and spiritual presence. Because if it's just a spiritual presence, it can be wiped away on the spiritual, but if it has a physical and a spiritual, it has to be wiped away on both. Which, for stuff like wards and other kinds of protective talismans, are very important. So, if you don't mind, I'm going to get a little closer. I have my chair right here, and talk to you in person, or talk to you more directly. So the first one I'm going to show you is this. I removed the cork on it. You can't see it too well, but effectively, it's a glass bottle that you put oil in. Different types of oil and some herbs, whatever you need. Cork it. And how I do is I have the specific spell already placed upon it, but you would focus your energy, your incantation, etc. And then when it's ready, you put it up. And it lasts really until the oil would pour out of it. Sorry, just looking. But once the oil is out, you have to redo it and re-enchant it. Wards are more permanent depending on the situation, but sometimes they're not. Meanwhile, this bottle is a lot older and has more of a history. Where my family's bar is, there used to be a few houses. One of those houses was over 150 years old. And actually until maybe 30 years ago, still had people living in it. When we got it, we tore down what was left, because by that point there was nothing but the abandoned house inside it. Sorry, I'm noticing my tape's falling off. I mean, my very, very secure and professional camera mount. Sorry. And even though the houses themselves were falling apart, they were completely abandoned. Everything that was inside were gone, so we just tore it down. But in the ground all around it, where everything else was, there were a lot of old artifacts, old bottles, old bullets. I don't know where they are now, but I actually have an old bullet, handmade lead bullet, and an old charm. Like a little, you can tell it's a piece of lead that was branded. That came from there, same place as this bottle. So this bottle has a lot of antiquity to it. And though this one is empty, it does have, though it's empty, it still has the magic placed upon it to give a basic resting place of spirits of antiquity as they pass through. In exchange, that the pipette draws some of their energy to protect the area. It's not as powerful as the one with the oil, but it's a more passive barrier. I don't have to constantly keep care of it. And I have others around the apartment, as well as at my parents' home, my grandparents' home. There are ones that my grandparents have. There's actually one that's really, really old in my family. A really old set of wards that require constant maintenance and work. And that's sort of different. But these ones are very basic ones just for my office area. The reason I'm discussing this today, actually, if you don't mind, I want to get a little away. I don't like being too close to the camera all the time. Sorry. So, the reason why I'm sort of talking about this today is a certain individual in the spiritual community has, for the past few weeks, been very almost stalkerish in how they've been acting towards me. Very aggressive in that they have a fond opinion of me and want to get with me in a relationship, even though I'm happily engaged. Going so far as to say that they thought about attempting to work with the spirit's magic to cause us to break up, just so that they can have a chance. They've told that to my face. I'll let you guess how I responded. But that's very discomforting to me, that the spiritual community would have such mentality like that, especially from someone who's a self-proclaimed shaman. Even though he has no formal training at all he knows is what he looked up on Google searches. So I guess it was a bit of inspiration of, if anyone else is having situations like this, these are options you can do to protect yourself from stuff in the spiritual community. Wards are powerful and can protect you. I may tomorrow give a basic tutorial or something. I'll have to think about it and find one that isn't a part of my family that I can actually give up. Because I'll be honest, the best way to put this, and this is why I haven't really said a lot of my family stuff. One of the rules of my family, with the traditions and everything, is we're not allowed to just give out our secrets. Because we have stuff I can give out the specific spirits I invoke upon or call upon. Some of the ancestral spirits that we look at, seem like the Catholic saints, or the Santa Muerte, or the old Aztec spirits, stuff like that. We could call upon. I can explain that I call upon them, explain how I do, but I can't give the detailed prayers. I also can give detailed instructions of some of my talismans or some of my stuff like that. That's the vow we carry. when I truly became part of started learning the teachings, that was a vow. Excuse me. That was a vow I had to make, and I lived to it. I refused to, even you can ask my fiance. When I'm doing private work, I will close the curtain on my doorway and do my work without letting anyone so much as look in. But I shall see what I can find this evening, and I shall get back to you guys in the morning. So, until then, the evening has ended. It is now coming towards night. Let us all recline and retire to our beds, our couches, whatever times of rest, and just enjoy some time with our family before the night is upon us. My friends, I shall see you in the morning for the daily meditation. Have a beautiful day.